Hey, I'm Nina Chantele, and this is Unmuted. So, if you've been writing with me from the beginning, you already know that this podcast has been super personal, like really, really personal. Every story, every episode has come from something I've lived through. And just wait, because this is only the beginning. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but I've been on this earth quite some time and I've seen and experienced so much that I'm going to share with you. And it's called Unmuted for a reason because I finally feel so free, so open, and able to be able to open up myself, my heart, my lessons, my life experiences with you so that we can share exactly what it is that we've been going through. Sometimes it takes one person to be able to say things out loud that another person on this earth, you, have been feeling or wanting to say out loud, or that a story resonates with you, a feeling resonates with you. And so every story, every episode, as I said, is something that I've lived through, something I've carried in silence, sometimes for years. And I know I said this in episode 1, but this podcast right here, Unmuted with Nina Chantele, was my way of finally speaking, finally letting it out, finally trusting that my voice, my truth is enough. But let me tell you what happened this past week. It hit on a whole different level. It was something that I didn't even know I needed until it actually happened. So here's what happened. Earlier this week, I went to go fly to Chicago to visit my family, to see my mom, see my best friends. And I'm sitting with my mom. We were about to go to lunch. And we had been running errands that we like to do together. You know, it turns into you think you're going to see one thing, but you honestly start bonding over things that you're looking at, clothes shopping, things that you don't even need. So it started off as a fun day. And then we decided, let's go get a bite. And so while we're driving, she was listening to episode 3. And that's the one where I talked about being stuck in Newark, where I was dragging my bags through the rain, dealing with a broken hotel key, a 5 a.m. flight, the whole chaotic dumpster fire day. And at first, I didn't think she was really going to say much. I thought she was just listening because it's her daughter and she's supportive. I mean, she's heard me talk a million times before on the radio and interviews. Gosh, clearly as a kid, even just around the house. But when it got to the end, she looked at me with these eyes that were full. They were full of emotion, full of something deeper than just, good job, mija. She actually had tears. Tears were welling up in her eyes, and she just looked at me and said, mija, I don't even listen to podcasts. But if I didn't know you and I heard this, the way you just told that story, the way you pulled me into what you were feeling, I would listen. I would actually follow you. And again, I don't listen to podcasts, but it's because I felt it. And when I tell you, I just sat there, and you know when you feel that lump in your throat, and I've shared this with you before, but I always feel like I have to be the strong one. And I really didn't want to cry. I mean, we were in the parking lot of this restaurant we were about to go into. I didn't want to ruin my mascara and my eye makeup. And I didn't want to have this whole moment where I was going to look red and go inside. And I just sat there choked up because she's my mom and she knows me. And she's seen all my versions, the loud ones, the shy ones, the trying to hold it together ones. But to hear her say those words, not because she has to, but because she actually meant it, I felt seen. I know this is my mom, but it was in a way that I haven't felt in a really long time. Y'all, I've been going through so much and I haven't really opened up so much yet about everything because I don't want to explode it on you and drop it on you. I want us to get to know each other in the way that I need to begin this with you. This is my slow way of beginning this journey with you and letting things out. And so, when she was saying this to me, I just looked at her and I was like, thank you, Mom. And I'm getting choked up right now because I'm remembering the moment and what she was looking at me, those eyes and that emotion. And I just told her, thank you. Like, that means so much to me. But then even later, I was in the car with my best friend, Leslie. She's like my ride or die homie. I've got like 4 on this earth, and she's one of them. And we were driving home, and I asked her if she had heard the podcast, and she said that she hadn't yet. And so she's like, let me hear. I want to hear it. So she pulls it up on Spotify. By the way, my mom was listening to it on the iHeartRadio app. She's so proud I've been on iHeart for like ever. So please hit follow on both the iHeartRadio app and on Spotify. Anyway, so she hit follow. She started playing episode 1. And the second the music started, she was like, oh, this music is so good. I was like, thanks, girl. I'm like, you know how long it actually took to get that music right? And she's like, you created it? I was like, no, like real talk. It was a labor of love. Me and my other ride or die, we came up with that music, the title, the music, the flow. Nothing about this podcast, just so you know, is by accident. But then something happened. The episode was playing. We were like midway in, and she paused it. She took her hand off the steering wheel. Her right hand grabbed my left hand in the passenger seat, and she just looked over and said to me while she was holding my hand tight, comadre, this is not Radio Nina. This is you, like really you, and it's so good. And I was like, wow, thank you. And there was honesty, and the way she held my hand and the way she said and expressed herself. And at the end of episode 2, she turned to me and said, comadre, you're giving people inspiration, like not just as a woman, but as a human being. Like I'm feeling your truth. Some of these things I didn't even know that you were feeling. I feel your heart. I feel your emotions and the way that you're saying things. And in that moment, between remembering my mom's tears, my best friend's hand squeeze, I realized something. They finally heard me. Like they finally heard me, not just the me that they think is funny or is polished on the radio or always has it together, but the me that's been fighting to be understood for years. And that's what made me tear up. That's what made me cry, because here's the thing. Sometimes your people don't get it right away. They just love you. They just know you. They support you, but they're not always tuned into the frequency that you're operating on, because even though they're my people, they also know me as this on-air personality, this person that's always happy, this person that's always forward and blunt, and the friend, the family member. But they don't really know sometimes what it is that I'm going through. And I guess I expressed myself in a different way. So it is until one day that you say something, or maybe you write something or create something, and it just lands like right there in their spirit. And this, like for you could be telling somebody this, and I want you to think about the things that you might be saying to somebody that's when it hits for you. This was one of those weeks for me. It was a landing. And a reminder that this Unmuted with Nina Chantele podcast isn't just about sharing stories. It is about being felt. It's about giving the people around me and the people I don't even know, you that I want to get to know, permission to unmute their truth too, your truth as well. And so I asked myself, why did their reactions hit me so hard? And I think it's because they echoed exactly what I hoped someone would feel, that it is real and that it is me and that it's needed. This is like therapy for all of us and therapy for me now that it's happening. And so when my mom said, I don't know where this comes from, mija, but I thank God that you have it in you. And she did ask, like, where does this come from? And I just kind of put my hand over my heart and I was like, here, Mom, because if I don't let it out and say the words that I mean and express it in some way, I'm going to drive myself crazy and I just got to keep it moving. And she said, again, I thank God that you have it in you. She wasn't just proud. She was relieved that I found my outlet. Let's think about that. A parent, a loved one, somebody that may be worried about you and what you're going through can be relieved that you're processing the pain some way and that you're okay. Because if you're saying words of some type of appreciation, acknowledgement, words that are maybe inspiring them and motivating them, that you have it in you and that you're motivating yourself. So I was relieved that I was processing the pain. I didn't realize it, that I wasn't just carrying it around like a silent weight. So she looked at me And she said, when I hear you talk like this, I know you're okay. And that's when it clicked that this isn't just for listeners. And I'm saying that with air quotes. This is for me. This is me giving myself a place to land, a place to breathe, a place to heal out loud. And you know what? Maybe that's why it works. Maybe, and I hope that you feel my words. And I'm getting choked up here because that's what I feel. That it's not coming from any type of ego or performance. It's coming from right here, and I'm touching my heart. It's coming from my soul, from the depths of my gut, my chest, my truth. And so this week, I just want to say thank you. Just thank you. To you, to everybody who's been listening, to everybody who's been supporting me from the beginning. And please follow, please comment on the Unmuted with Nina Chantele Instagram page. It's at UNMUTED with Nina Chantele, NINACHANTELE. I do want those follows. I want to know that you are listening, that it is resonating with you, that I'm hopefully giving you something too, because you're giving something to me. Sharing it. I want you to DM me. And y'all just don't know how much this means to me, but especially thank you to my mom. Thank you to one of my ride or dies on this earth, Leslie. Thank you for reminding me that when you finally speak, some people will finally hear you, and not the version of you that they are used to, but the version of you that you've been fighting to become. I didn't know that I was fighting to become this person silently, but here we are. I mean, if you're out there right now and you feel like people don't see you, don't give up. Keep going. Please keep creating. Keep telling your truth. It's so important because when it finally lands, it does land deep and it does put something in you, makes you feel something. And it will remind someone somewhere that they're not alone. And maybe that's the whole point. Because again, silence never told the full story. This is Unmuted with Nina Chantele.